Revealed, my daughter's incredible transformation after 10 years of financial struggles exposed. Jenna stood in the kitchen, looking out at the vibrant autumn leaves swirling in the wind. The past decade had been a stormy ride since she lost her job at the factory. But amid the struggles, one thing remained her anchor: Lily, her fiercely spirited daughter. Lily was the reason Jenna woke up every morning with a determination to keep pushing, to instill in her the values of hard work and self-reliance. Now, as Lily entered her senior year of high school, the weight of ambition and expectation began to crack their once unbreakable bond. The scholarship announcement felt like lightning in their lives, an electrifying opportunity for Lily to escape their small Midwestern town, a place riddled with unspoken judgments and class divides. Lily was bursting with excitement about college, while Jenna's heart clenched. She feared losing her child to a future filled with privilege they had never known. With every conversation about college, Jenna's anxiety flared. Their stifled conversations echoed around the house, filled with unspoken doubts and a growing distance that made Jenna's chest tighten every time she thought of it. "Mom, this is amazing," Lily said, her eyes sparkling with dreams bigger than their reality. Jenna forced a smile, though her heart ached as she replied, "Yes, honey. Just don't forget where you came from." Both their hearts swelled, but in different ways. Jenna's with love and fear, Lily's with hope and possibilities. The fundraiser organized by their neighbors felt like a double-edged sword. What started as a well-meaning gesture soon spiraled into something far beyond its original intention. Jenna felt the whispers, the glances like arrows aimed right at her. "They think she's trying to be more than she is," she caught someone saying. The truth stung like lemon juice on a fresh wound. Each word made her simmer with rage and sadness. Why didn't they understand? Why couldn't they see the potential in their struggles? Before Jenna took the stage that night, she felt like a candle flickering in a draft. The community's good intentions felt heavy with judgment. Should she shield Lily from these realities, or speak up? The gulf between their dreams widened as she stepped into the spotlight, confronted by friendly faces that masked underlying biases. Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. As the night wore on, Jenna overheard whispers that froze her heart, conversations about whether Lily deserved the scholarship. The intensity of it pressed down on her like a weight that threatened to crush her. Should she stay silent, letting the hurt simmer beneath the surface, or should she voice the truth that burned in her chest? Tears docked in her eyes as she glanced at Lily, whose smile reflected pure hope. Something Jenna felt was shattered. Standing there, Jenna realized she was at a crossroads, a revelation whispering within. Could she help her daughter navigate the choppy waters of ambition without losing herself in the process? As the voices of the crowd faded into a dull hum, the silence between mother and daughter became a chasm filled with uncertainty. Jenna took a deep breath, the weight of one choice pressing on her shoulders. Would she speak up, or let this moment slip into shadows? Jenna's heart raced as she stood at the edge of the stage, the spotlight feeling both warm and glaring. She could see the faces of neighbors, friends, and acquaintances, their smiles showing support that felt tainted by judgment. The whispers grew louder in her mind, twisting like a vine around her thoughts. "Mom!" Lily called out, snapping Jenna back to the moment. Her daughter stood in the audience, an effortless beacon of light, her youthful optimism radiating through the tension in the room. Jenna's breath hitched. How could she protect Lily, yet keep her own voice from being muffled by fear? The microphone felt foreign in her trembling hands. She opened her mouth, but the words stayed trapped in her throat like a tightly closed door. In that moment, she realized it wasn't just about her fears. It was about teaching Lily that the obstacles they faced were part of their journey, a journey that defined who they were. "They think she's too good for our town," she heard another whisper, venom drenching the words. Reminded of the sacrifices made, Jenna's resolve began to sharpen. The worries for Lily's future, the community's harsh judgments, and the fear of losing her daughter intertwined like ivy around her heart. But this wasn't just about her. It was about Lily facing a world that could either hold her back or elevate her dreams. Finally, she cleared her throat, her voice catching the attention of the crowd. "Everyone," Jenna began, her nerves simmering beneath the surface, "this isn't just about a scholarship. It's about dreams." The warmth of the spotlight ignited a fire inside her. "Lily and I have worked hard to reach this point." The room shifted, curiosity knitted brows together. Jenna took a step forward, emboldened by the weight of their gazes. "We may live in a small town, but our dreams aren't limited by borders." She felt the words pouring out, a torrent she couldn't control. "Every late night spent studying, every penny saved, has brought us here. This isn't just Lily's victory, it's ours. It's for everyone who has ever had a dream but felt it was too far out of reach." As Jenna spoke, she noticed Lily's face transforming, a mixture of pride and encouragement shining through her wide eyes. Jenna poured herself into her speech, offering a glimpse into their life, the struggles, the joys, and yes, the judgments too. So, to the ones whispering, I invite you to see the strength in our challenges instead of mocking them. Because if we don't support our own, who will? The room was silent. Jenna's heart thundered in her chest, relief washing over her as a sense of unity bubbled beneath the surface. But even as she spoke, that nagging voice in her head questioned if she had done enough to shield Lily from the stares, the whispers that never truly faded. Finally, she finished, a tremor in her voice but her heart steady. A hush hung in the air for a beat, and then the applause erupted. It felt like a wave carrying her away from the darker corners of doubt. As she searched for Lily's face, she spotted tears of joy in her daughter's eyes. Yet, even amidst the applause, Jenna could feel uncertainty creeping back. Had she unwittingly opened doors that would lead to a rift? Was she, in her struggle to protect, inadvertently pushing Lily toward a different life entirely? Would she ever be ready to accept the changes this new path might bring? The questions loomed heavy in the air, stirring deeper fears of an unknown future as Jenna stepped down from the stage, both exhilarated and anxious. What would their relationship look like as parts of their lives started to fracture and shift into a new mold? As Jenna embraced Lily, a spark filled the air between them, but beneath that warmth lay a fateful truth yet to be revealed. Jenna could feel the warmth radiating from Lily's embrace, a moment of pure joy intertwined with an undercurrent of worry. The applause faded, but in Jenna's mind, the echoes of her words lingered, swirling around her like a persistent mist. She stepped back, holding Lily's hands, seeing her daughter's wide smile but also the flicker of uncertainty in her bright eyes. "Mom, that was amazing!" Lily exclaimed, bouncing on the balls of her feet. Her enthusiasm was infectious, yet Jenna sensed the shift behind her daughter's excitement. This was not just a moment of victory, it was a doorway to something bigger, something daunting. "Thank you, sweetie," Jenna replied, forcing a smile as they walked off the stage together. I hope I didn't say too much." Lily looked up at her, confusion crossing her face. "What do you mean?" "I worry that putting our struggles out there might change how people see us, or how they see you." Lily's expression firmed as if she'd just made a resolve of her own. "But, Mom, that's the point. We can't let what others think stop us. You taught me that. It's about being proud of where we came from." The confidence in her voice wrapped around Jenna, lifting her spirits just a bit. They moved through the crowd, greeting familiar faces. Each smile carried a bit of praise, yet Jenna sensed the subtle undertones: pity, envy, even disbelief. "She's going to leave us behind," she heard one neighbor whisper. It was like a knife, twisting the pride she felt into a knot of anxiety. As they reached the sidelines, Jenna spotted Marcus, a family friend. He approached with his usual friendly demeanor, but today, there was something different, a gravity to his words. "You did well up there, Jenna," he said, his expression sincere. "But you know some folks won't be so forgiving. Change scares them." Running a hand through her hair, she couldn't shake that feeling of vulnerability. "I know. But isn't growth supposed to be uncomfortable? Shouldn't they see that?" "Absolutely. But, you know as well as I do that not everyone will understand your journey. They want the familiar, even if it's not best for their own kids. His words lingered, gnawing at her heart. Jenna squeezed Lily's hand tighter. The more she envisioned Lily's potential, the more the weight of uncertainty felt. Was she pushing her daughter toward a future that could separate them, perhaps forever? In that moment, they were joined by a small group of parents. "We're so proud of you, Lily," one woman said, her voice warm, yet Jenna could catch the edge in her tone. "Have you decided where you'll go next?" Lily beamed, her excitement bubbling over. "I'm hoping for the scholarship at the state university. It feels like a dream." As she talked, her face lit up with possibilities. Jenna couldn't help but smile, even as nervousness coiled in her stomach. The tension of what lay ahead gnawed at her, mingling with pride. After a few more conversations, Jenna glanced at her watch. It was getting late. "Honey, we should head home," she said gently. Lily, however, was still on her high. "Can we stay a little longer? I want to talk to my friends." Her heart twisted. Of course, Jenna relented, but her mind churned with thoughts. What if Lily's success drew too much attention? As they lingered, an unexpected figure emerged from the shadows. Katie, the girl whose disapproving glances had pierced Jenna all night. With a determined stride, she approached, her expression serious. Jenna braced herself for a confrontation. "I need to talk to you," Katie said, her voice low but steady. "It's about the scholarship." Jenna's heart raced again, this time with an unpredictable tension. What did she want? Would this be the moment that altered everything? Katie took a breath, her eyes locked onto Jenna's. "I overheard some stuff." She hesitated, glancing around as if afraid someone might overhear. Jenna could feel her heart pounding. What could she possibly want to say, and why now? Lily was still buzzing with excitement, chatting animatedly among her friends, blissfully unaware of the storm brewing nearby. Jenna felt the ground shift beneath her. She stepped closer to Katie, trying to project calm despite the turmoil swirling within her. "What did you hear?" Jenna asked, her voice steady, though she could feel the weight of every letter. Her stomach churned. "It's not about what I heard, it's about what I know." Katie leaned in, her tone almost conspiratorial. "I know your story. The struggles, the sacrifices. They inspire people, Jenna." Her words hung in the air, a double-edged sword of admiration and implication. "People like me need to hear it. But you need to know that not everyone will see it that way." Jenna clenched her fists, absorbing the sting of the unspoken threats behind Katie's words. "You think I should hide it, then?" "No. It's not about hiding. It's about being smart. Not everyone's on your side. I just want to make sure you're prepared. People will talk, and not all of it will be good, especially if they think you're raising Lily to think she's better than them." That hit Jenna hard, like a slap across the face. Better than them? That's not what this is about. It's about opportunity, it's about hope. Katie held her gaze, unflinching. Hope can bring as much trouble as it does light. Just keep that in mind. Jenna felt sweat prick her palms, a rush of conflicting emotions coursing through her. Was she harming Lily by wanting more for her? By wanting to share their truth? The answers flipped like a wild card in a game she didn't even know she was playing. "Thanks for the warning," she finally said, her voice steadying as a new resolve began to form. "But my daughter will not be a casualty of other people's fears or insecurities." Katie nodded, surprisingly receptive, her expression softening. "Okay, I get it. I really do. I want to help. Maybe I can spread the word about the scholarship. The good stuff you mentioned." Jenna's heart warmed a little at the unexpected kindness. "I'd appreciate that," she said, feeling a connection she didn't anticipate. "But only if you truly believe in it." "I do." Katie offered a small smile, one that seemed genuine. Just then, a shout from the group of Lily's friends broke through the intensity of their conversation. "Lily! Come on! We're taking selfies!" Lily glanced over, excitement flooding her face. Mom, can I? Of course, just be careful. Jenna called back, her heart swelling with motherly pride mixed with anxiety. Katie stepped back, a sense of resolve settling over her. I'll talk to you later, okay? Jenna nodded, and as Katie walked away, the crowd began to ebb and flow like a living thing. But Jenna's thoughts were consumed by questions. Was she making the right choice by supporting Lily's dreams? Would their journey into bright futures dim the light of their past? Lily returned, beaming from ear to ear, another photo in hand. Did you see? I was with all my friends. Jenna smiled, but it didn't quite reach her eyes. The uncertainty wrapped around her like a heavy cloak. That's wonderful, honey. You deserve every bit of joy. But as she looked into Lily's shining eyes, a part of her couldn't shake the fear that lay at the pit of her stomach. The path ahead was as blurry as ever, and she couldn't help but wonder what would be waiting just around the corner. What truth did she still have to face? And would it change everything for both of them? The sun was starting to dip below the horizon, casting a warm glow over the park. Jenna watched as Lily dashed back to her group, laughing with friends, her innocence untouched by worries that loomed over her mother. Jenna took a deep breath, trying to push aside the weight of uncertainty that seemed to settle deeper in her bones with each passing moment. Mom! We're going to the ice cream truck. Lily shouted, her eyes wide with excitement. Jenna couldn't help but smile back, yet it was tinged with a shadow of what was hidden beneath the surface. Okay. Just don't forget to share with everyone. Jenna replied, trying to sound cheery while fighting off the creeping dread in her mind. As Lily bounded off like a little whirlwind, Jenna felt a pang of longing for carefree days when survival wasn't always tangled with secrets and fear. With a sigh, she turned to find a bench, hoping the brief moment of solitude could offer her clarity. She couldn't shake off Katie's words, the way they'd hung in the air, heavy with implications. Jenna thought about how hard she'd fought for a better life for Lily, how every sacrifice had been made with love. But could she really ensure Lily's future without dragging them both through the mud of judgment? She picked at the grass at her feet, the scent of summer wrapped around her like warmth, but underneath it all, her heart was icy. Maybe she was wrong. Maybe bravery came in the form of silence and retreat, not the anthem of truth she'd been singing all these years. Hey, you okay? The voice startled her. It was Mr. Benson, the friendly neighbor who always seemed to pop up just when she didn't expect it. He was a tall man, graying hair giving him a distinguished look. You look deep in thought. Jenna forced a smile. Just thinking about things. Life, huh? It's a ride, he said, sitting down next to her. Your daughter looks happy out there. Yeah, she is. I want to keep her that way, Jenna admitted, her voice heavy with unspoken fears. Mr. Benson nodded knowingly. It's tough being a parent. You carry everything, even the unspoken worries. His gaze drifted to the group of giggling children. But for them, it's all about joy. Jenna hesitated, wanting to confide yet unsure how much to reveal. I want more for her, you know. But I'm scared. Scared of what might come if I stand up and speak out. His brow furrowed slightly. Even speaking up might be an example of strength. Just be true to what you believe, Jenna. That's what she'll learn from you. As he spoke, Jenna felt a flicker of hope ignite in her chest. Maybe there was strength in vulnerability. Maybe it was okay to share their journey and the battles won alongside the ones yet to come. It could even inspire others the way Katie mentioned. She turned to Mr. Benson, determination sparking in her eyes. You're right. I can't be silent out of fear of what others think. All I want is for Lily to have a chance. Mr. Benson smiled, a proud look crossing his face. Suddenly, the laughter of Lily and her friends cut through the moment, bringing Jenna's focus back. Each giggle felt like hope. Each shout of joy resonated with the promise of tomorrow. Hey, Mom. Lily's voice rang out. Guess what? I got toppings for everyone. Even sprinkles. That's my girl. Jenna exclaimed, pride swelling in her heart. But as she embraced that pride, another wave of doubt crashed in. If she shared their story, what would happen? Who would they become in the eyes of others? Just then, a few parents nearby were deep in whispered conversations, heads bobbing and eyes darting in her direction. Jenna's heart sank in that moment. She realized the choice was clear. She needed to protect what they had fought for, even if that meant putting herself out there. As she rose to join Lily, she heard Katie's voice echoing back in her mind. Could they truly find a way to navigate the shadows? Or would the realities that waited in the dark knock them down when they stood up? What awaited Jenna in the face of her revelations? Would the truth they held illuminate their path or cast them into deeper shadows? Jenna felt the warmth of the setting sun on her back as she approached the group, where Lily's laughter rang out like music. Her heart was caught between the joy of Lily's innocence and the weight of her own trepidation. What if the fears she had kept buried for so long came to light? Would they shatter the blissful moments they shared? "Mom, look!" Lily called out, her hands proudly holding a cup of ice cream covered in rainbow sprinkles. "I got the biggest one." Her smile radiated an infectious energy, and for a moment, Jenna felt herself breaking free from the chains of worry that bound her. "That's amazing, sweetie. You deserve the best," she replied, her own smile becoming genuine. Around them, parents and children shuffled about, creating a colorful tapestry of everyday life. But Jenna felt the sharp eyes of those who had whispered not far behind her, their conversations now too loud to ignore. They pointed subtly, sharing glances that made her skin crawl. "Mom, can I share with my friends?" Lily beamed, oblivious to the tension brewing beneath the surface. "Of course." Jenna answered, turning slightly to better shield her daughter from the vibrations of judgment. Yet, she could feel the shadows closing in, tightening around her like a noose. As Lily buzzed off to her friends again, Jenna couldn't shake the nagging feeling festering in her gut. The truth of their situation felt like a tangled ball of yarn, impossible to unravel without causing chaos. What if I do speak up? She thought. What if I stand strong and decide to share our story, only to see it twisted into something ugly? She took a deep breath, recalling Mr. Benson's words about strength and belief. But the weight of potential judgment felt suffocating. Could she truly expose her vulnerabilities and take that leap? The afternoon air grew cooler, signaling the change of day. As darkness crept in, Jenna's thoughts wandered to her savings account, then to the debts that loomed like dark clouds. Her heart raced. Would revealing their struggles paint her as a failure in the eyes of the community? Maybe it wasn't just about her anymore. It was about Lily. If she could find the strength to forge ahead, maybe that act in itself could be empowering. But what if, she thought, the truth could also help someone else feel less alone? Just then, she felt a presence beside her. It was Katie, her best friend, her partner in crime. "You all right?" Katie asked, scanning Jenna's face with concern. "Not really," Jenna admitted, her voice barely above a whisper. "I want to share, but I'm terrified of what it might mean for Lily and me." Katie leaned closer, her voice low and simple yet ringed with sincerity. "Jenna, you're the bravest person I know. Whatever it is, you can handle it. Just remember, the truth has a way of uniting people." Jenna looked into Katie's eyes, searching for reassurance. What if it backfires? What if it makes it worse? What if it opens doors? Katie shot back. "You've always said honesty is the best policy. Maybe it's time to live by that." As whispers danced through the air around them, Jenna felt something shift inside her. It was a flicker of strength, a burgeoning flame that dared to challenge her fears. "That's it," she murmured, glancing toward Lily, who was giggling with her friends. But just as she felt a surge of confidence, a sudden commotion erupted in the park. Parents gasped and children shrieked, drawing Jenna's attention. Confusion and alarm turned the laughter into a hush that swept across the crowd. Jenna's heart raced again. What was happening? Lily, still unaware of the chaos, reached for her ice cream. Jenna's pulse quickened. She needed to protect her daughter from whatever storm was brewing. What would the closing moments bring? Was this a test of their resolve or the very moment they needed to rise above fear? As Jenna moved to Lily's side, she felt the air shift, heavily charged with uncertainty and revelation. And as she stood there, on the edge of revelation, she couldn't shake the thought, could true courage emerge from chaos when everything around them felt shattered? Jenna's instincts kicked in as she squeezed through the crowd, her heart pounding against her ribs like a wild drum. A boy had fallen, it seemed, tripping over a loose stone while chase-tagging with his friends. His loud wail sliced through her thoughts, anchoring her in the reality of the moment. "Lily," she called, her voice steady despite the rising panic. "Stay close, okay?" Lily turned, her expression a mix of confusion and curiosity. "Is he okay, Mom?" "I'm sure he will be," Jenna said, though doubts turned in her mind like a storm. She reached Lily just as the other parents converged around the boy, kneeling to help with concerned faces. A rush of anxious murmurs surrounded them, and Jenna felt that familiar sense of judgment creeping back in. What would they think if her daughter witnessed chaos like this? "Look at his mom," a voice whispered harshly from the edge of the crowd. She should be been watching him more closely. Jenna clenched her jaw. Yes, she knew that sting all too well. The harsh words thrown about by people who had no idea what it was like to juggle fear and vulnerability daily. Keeping up appearances could feel just as daunting as the struggles buried beneath the surface. "Mom, why is everyone staring at us?" Lily asked, her innocent eyes darting from face to face. A lump formed in Jenna's throat. Sometimes people forget to be kind. Why? People can be afraid of what they don't understand. As the boy calmed, Jenna took a breath, suddenly struck by the irony of the moment. Fear of judgment had kept her silent for so long. And here she was, confronted with her worst fear happening in real time. "Oh, look," Lily pointed, gesturing as parents reassured the boy and his mother began to comfort him, brushing away tears with gentle hands. "They're being nice." "Yes," Jenna said, her heart both heavy and light. Sometimes kindness shines the brightest amid chaos. The commotion began to settle with the boy recovering under the warmth of sympathetic hugs. A small part of Jenna felt a strong pull. Was she supposed to remain silent? Or was this, too, part of her journey toward honesty and overcoming adversity? What if she began softly, glancing at Katie now, who nodded encouragingly? What if we could show that vulnerability can lead to connection? Jenna watched as the boy's mother laughed, easing fears and transforming tension into community. Just like that, barriers started to dissolve as smiles spread, drawing parents in closer, as if forming a circle of unity around the child. "That's the power of sharing, Jenna," Katie whispered beside her, leaning in. "It's not just about you, it's about all of us learning together." Then it hit Jenna like a light bulb in the darkness. Her story could be that connection. A source of strength for others who felt invisible or paralyzed by fear, just like she had. "I think you're right," Jenna said, her voice gaining strength. "It's time to stop hiding." Lily took her hand and squeezed it tightly. Jenna looked down, noticing how her daughter's tiny fingers held so much hope. But as she prepared to take that first brave step, another shout echoed through the park, drawing attention back like a rolling wave. "Look out!" A voice called, and eyes shifted to a dog breaking free from its owner's grip, wild and racing past the swings. Jenna hesitated, her heart racing again. Would this moment push her closer to the edge or pull her back into retreating shadows? "Mom, he's gonna fall!" Lily cried out, pointing. "Let us go!" Jenna shouted, realizing she must decide now how to act, not only for herself but for the unique bond she shared with Lily. As they rushed toward the chaos ahead, Jenna knew this was only the beginning. What would they discover together at the center of this storm about community, courage, and the truth? As Jenna ran, Lily's hand in hers felt small yet unyielding, a lifeline tethering her to the present. The park was a whirlwind of activity, laughter and chaos colliding like waves crashing against the shore. The dog, a scruffy golden retriever, bounded across the grass, oblivious to the panic it was causing. It dashed toward a group of startled children, who squealed, their joy turning swiftly into fear. "Stay behind me," Jenna instructed, her voice louder than the rising din around them. Lily clung to her side, her eyes wide with a mix of fear and excitement. Jenna's heart raced as they moved, the scene ahead unfolding like a movie before her. She could feel the collective energy of the crowd, an anxiousness that buzzed like static electricity in the air. At the edge of the chaos, a young boy lost his balance, his laughter fading into a shriek as he stumbled. In that split second, Jenna's instincts surged forward. The fear that had wrapped around her heart just moments ago transformed into a deep-seated resolve. "Watch out!" someone yelled, the crowd erupting as the dog darted closer to the children. "Come on!" Jenna shouted again, redirecting her focus. "We need to help." As they reached the fray, Jenna's pulse quickened not only from the excitement but also from the sheer vulnerability of it all. She thought about the parallels between this reckless dog and her own fears, both needing a guiding hand, a firm touch to steer them towards safety. "Sophie, sit!" a frantic voice called out. But the dog was caught in pure exuberance, tumbling playfully, completely unaware of its potential for chaos. Jenna spotted the boy who had fallen moments ago, his initial fear now replaced with curiosity. He watched the commotion unfold, his brain processing a mix of excitement and understanding. "Are you okay?" Jenna crouched beside him, her knees pressing into the grass. He nodded, a grin breaking across his face. "That dog is funny." As laughter erupted from nearby parents, Jenna felt a warmth spread through her. This was what it meant to connect, to share a light-hearted moment amidst the whirl of worry. She locked eyes with Lily, who watched with wide amazement, her little face illuminated by joy. "You see, sweetheart?" Jenna said softly. Even in chaos, there's room for laughter. Suddenly, out of nowhere, Sophie skidded to a halt, sensing something in the air. The sudden pause caused a ripple effect, the startled children, the concerned parents, and Jenna all holding their breath. In that mere second, a calm washed over them like a cool breeze. Lily squeezed her hand tighter. "Is she going to be okay?" Jenna felt her heart swell as she looked down at her daughter. "I think we all will be." As the owner finally dashed up, breathless and apologetic, the moment transformed entirely. The tension diminished and eyes softened. It struck Jenna then that vulnerability had just held hands with bravery. Each person there, fearing judgment, had found solace in the shared experience. Perhaps it wasn't just about her story but a collective narrative of understanding, compassion, and shared humanity. As Jenna stepped back from the scene, her heart felt lighter. She couldn't help but think of how this very moment of connection could inspire others, how her voice could be part of this weave of community. And just as she thought about taking steps towards sharing her truth, another unexpected event jolted her back. This time it was a toddler running off on the other side of the park, chasing after a balloon. "What now?" Jenna murmured, her heart pounding once again. Would she step up once more, changing the course of events yet again, or would she finally let fear pull her back into her shell? The answer was a whisper in the wind, a promise that the journey was far from over. No one could hold a balloon forever, sometimes, you had to let it soar. Jenna stood at the edge of the swirling crowd, caught in a moment of indecision. The sight of the toddler sprinting after that balloon, laughter echoing behind her, sent a rush of memories cascading through Jenna's mind. She remembered the times Lily had chased after her own little dreams, the way they seemed to drift just out of reach. "Should we go?" she asked Lily, the little girl beside her bouncing on her toes, eyes fixed on the colorful balloon dancing high above. "Can we?" Lily's voice was a soft melody of hope, bright and eager. Jenna's heart swelled with a mix of excitement and dread. "Yeah, let us see if we can help her." A firm nod ignited a determination in her, like a switch flipping that banished her hesitation. As they stepped forward, Jenna felt a pull, a connection to that little girl, lost in her pursuit of joy. The world seemed to blur, each face around them morphing into a sea of strangers, where Jenna's focus was only on Lily and the runaway balloon. The toddler's small legs pumped with all their might, reassurance written on her face as she chased after her own vibrant dreams. But suddenly, she stumbled, falling to the pavement. A murmur rippled through the crowd, 100 hearts freezing in sympathy. "Come on, sweetie, you can do it," Jenna exclaimed, urging the girl forward. Lily's hand gripped Jenna's tight. "Is she okay?" Jenna knelt down, instinctively checking the girl as she wiped away tears and lifted her chin. "You're doing great. Just listen to your heart. Your dreams are right there." The little girl's expression shifted from defeat to determination, her brows knitting together in a fierce concentration. Jenna felt a moment of clarity. She wasn't just talking to the toddler but to herself, too. The years of navigating her own dreams and fears had built something solid in her. "Let us catch that balloon together," Jenna shouted, her arms wide open as if to embrace not just the child, but the spirit of resilience they both needed. The crowd held its breath, but as the little girl rose, her eyes lit up, heartened by Jenna's encouragement. Lily clapped, her joy contagious. "You can do it." The toddler took off again, this time more cautiously, eyes glued to the balloon shimmering above her like her own piece of magic. Jenna felt an unexplainable connection binding them all, a collective surge of spirit sparking through the crowd. "Hearts like ours," Jenna whispered to Lily, "are pretty powerful." Jenna watched as the little girl reached for the balloon, her small fingers finally brushing the string. Cheers erupted around them, a finale of joy that collided with the fizz of celebration. Jenna couldn't help but smile, a warmth radiating from the shared achievement. "See?" she said to Lily, who was beaming proudly. "It's about helping each other chase what we want. It's like that moment back there with Sophie. Without connection, we feel lost." But just as Jenna thought the chaos had calmed, her phone buzzed in her pocket. She pulled it out, her breath hitching as the screen lit up with unfamiliar numbers. A message from an old friend, asking if Jenna had seen the latest developments in their community, a plea to voice her story about the struggles they faced. The message held the weight of opportunity, a chance to once again step into the light. Would this be the moment she embraced her truth, sharing her journey and inspiring others? Clutching Lily's hand, Jenna felt the familiar squeeze of fear, interwoven with the pulse of courage that had surged within her today. And as she looked down into her daughter's glowing face, she realized the journey was about to take another unexpected turn. What awaited her as she prepared to leap into the unknown? The sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple as Jenna stood in the park, the echoes of laughter and shared joy swirling around her. With the weight of the world pressing on her shoulders, she felt the pulse of new determination beating inside her chest. Today had shown her something crucial: the power of connection, the freedom that comes from unveiling one's truth. Lily's hand was still clasped tightly in hers. "Mom, can we help that little girl?" She pointed towards the toddler scrambling toward the balloon. Each step was filled with the kind of innocent determination that Jenna wished she could carry within her own heart. "Yes. We must," Jenna said, her voice steady with newfound resolve. "Let us show her she isn't alone." As they dashed across the grass, uncertainty fluttered in Jenna's gut, but she released the fears that had held her back for so long. The truth they had carried, the struggles, the sacrifices, the striving for a better future, those pieces of their lives mattered. They were not just burdens, they were part of a vibrant tapestry that made them who they were. The chorus of cheers erupted as the toddler finally grasped the balloon string, her face lighting up in triumph. Jenna clapped along with the crowd, but it was the sight of Lily's joy that filled her heart with a warmth she hadn't felt in ages. Here was the magic of community, set ablaze by the encouragement offered to that little girl. Jenna's thoughts drifted to her own struggles, moments of loss mixed with brilliant flashes of victory. People would talk, yes. But today, witnessing that moment of overcoming fear ignited something inside of her, a deep-seated purpose to share their story, both the complicated and beautiful parts. "Sweetheart, do you remember when we talked about dreams?" she asked as the applause settled down. Lily nodded, her eyes sparkling with excitement. "Well, we can chase ours together. It's time to share who we truly are, the good, the bad, and everything in between. Will you help me?" Lily's grin widened, her happiness contagious. Like superheroes. Exactly, Jenna laughed, embracing the warmth of her daughter's spirit. As they turned and walked back toward the park's main clearing, Jenna felt a rush of clarity. Each step was a declaration, a promise to forge a new path not only for herself but for Lily and others in their community. Mom, do you think they'll understand? Lily asked, voice serious yet hopeful. I truly believe they will, Jenna replied, her heart steady. Because what we have gone through can shine light for others. And those who judge, well, they don't define us. It's time to rise and be proud. Moving through the crowd now felt different. It was filled with anticipation rather than shadows of doubt. People, once mere acquaintances, appeared to her as neighbors share in their struggles and triumphs, ready to embrace their stories. Jenna caught snippets of conversations, snippets of admiration and support, things that had felt hidden beneath layers of fear before. Jenna. It was Mr. Benson, striding toward them with a warm smile. I heard about your speech. You really found your voice out there. Jenna felt her cheeks blush with warmth. Thank you. I realized that sharing only makes us stronger. That's right, he nodded, eyes glimmering with approval. You should keep sharing. People need to hear your journey. Lily chimed in, we're superheroes now. We're gonna help everyone. Jenna looked down, joy swelling as she glanced at her daughter. Yes. One story at a time. As the sun finally set, casting a glow over the park, Jenna took a deep breath, soaking in the twilight. They would navigate this new chapter together. Her fears wouldn't vanish, but they would step forward, illuminating the path for all those who felt lost or unheard. And that promise mixed through the air like the sweet scent of freshly fallen leaves. Embracing the moment, Jenna gathered the community around. Can we all share a piece of our stories? She called out, heart pounding with excitement. Let us celebrate our journeys. Because together, we rise. Laughter, cheers, and conversations cascaded around them, filling their park with a vibrant energy. Jenna stood resolute, hand in hand with Lily, remembering the terrified girl who had once questioned every step. She saw the future shaped by stories shared and bonds strengthened. In that moment, Jenna knew, this was not just a conclusion but a powerful new beginning. As the night enveloped them in a warm embrace, the undeniable truth resonated: courage is infectious, and by shedding light on their narratives, they could truly soar, and just like a balloon, they were ready to rise high and embrace all the colors of life ahead. So, if you felt the same pull of that journey, you need to subscribe now. This is the moment to show your support. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm. Comment below your reactions and feelings about this ending. And don't wait not even one more second to share this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this transformation. Your support means the world.